What is happening, you wonderful people? So, I finally got a chance earlier this morning to watch Rebel Ridge, the new First Blood, new action thriller starring Aaron Pierre, and I think that's how you say his name. And I was not planning on watching this movie. I was not, but I really sat down last night, and there's been a lot of movies talking about this year, especially, let alone, that I did, a lot of movies I did not see in the theaters, a lot. And I really sat down and I went on Letterboxd and added all the ones I want to watch at home, so I can give y'all my reviews for those. And who knows, some of them might end up being in my top 10. Don't know yet. But I was like, you know what? I'm hearing really good things about Rebel Ridge. I'm hearing it's like this mix of, it's like a thriller. It's like a mix of First Blood and. On a personal level, I am not the biggest fan of First Blood, the first Rambo. I'm just really not, to be honest. I haven't seen the second or third one yet. First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, I haven't seen those yet. I saw the fourth one just called Rambo. Was not the biggest fan of it. And then the last one, Last Blood, I just wasn't a big fan of it. So overall, I'm not the biggest Rambo fan. I like the character. I like what Sylvester Stallone brought to that character, but as the movies themselves, the franchise as a whole, not the biggest fan. But anyways, getting off topic. So it's basically like First Blood. That's what it is. And in this movie, we follow, forgot the character's name, but Aaron Pierre. And I'm not familiar with Aaron Pierre's work. I know who he is. I've known who he is. But the only other movie I've seen him in is M. Night Shyamalan's Old. And I know he didn't really have a big part of that movie. I was not a fan of that movie. I really did not like that movie. But this movie showed how good he is and how he's able to lead a movie, and some of the things he was doing in this movie were just nuts. He breaks someone's arm, and I'm just like, I'm not going to say anything, I don't want to give it away, but I'm like, that's hard to watch, and I didn't expect that part to happen. Again, I won't say much because y'all are probably all going to watch it, I bet. I was like, you know what I mean? But just going ahead and getting into it. So the basic premise about this movie is Aaron Pierre, his character, and right when the movie starts, they get into it. And so he has a bag of money and he's riding his bike, and his cousin is in jail, and he's trying to go pay to get him out on bail. And then the cops stop him, and that's basically where we go from there. And it just starts going crazy, you know. And I gotta say, there's one. So the cops are, if you want to call them the villain of this film, they really are. And there's one cop in particular that pissed me off. I was like, I cannot stand this dude in this movie. But the actor, I'd never seen the actor in my life before. But the way he played that cop as like a villain cop type thing, did a really good job. I don't know his name, but he did really good with that. And then one of the other cops in this movie, I did not expect him to be in this movie, but I'm glad he was, because he's a great actor. I don't feel like he gets many roles and much recognition, you know. I cannot think of his name, but Pam Beasley's fiance from The Office. He played the dad in Brightburn. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And I feel it's kind of funny because he just shows up in these roles, but when he does, he executes and kills these roles. You know what I mean? So, you know, he was cool. Yeah, the action was absolutely brutal, and it just, action was a lot of fun to watch. I'm trying to make this a little short review in a way because, you know, this is only a few days old, but if I saw it the day it came out, like it came out a couple days ago, I would do a longer review. But the story flows and it doesn't take its foot off the pedal. It really doesn't. And I apologize again too. I'm tired. I am tired, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Really, the only two negatives that I have about this movie is that, you know, the story is consistent, the story is really engaging, but it takes a pivot towards the towards the end of the middle, and the beginning of the end. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And it feels like it takes a pivot. I could be wrong about that, but then it gets back into the main overall arcing story, and I'm like, okay, we're back at where we were supposed to be for the whole movie, you know. So the story was good overall, except that little segment piece, you know. And then I feel like it is a slow movie. It is a very, very slow movie. But it's one of those slow movies where I was bored a little bit, but not to the point where I was like, I don't want to finish this. You know what I mean? So those are really the only negatives I have about it. I think it does a good job of, you know, with the scope and size of this film, it does a good job, you know what I mean? And it's not one of those action movies that we've seen a million times. It does a good job of doing something new and fresh, you know what I mean? And I was just happy to see that, because it's not like, I didn't watch it, I heard it's terrible, but Union with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, it's not like all the Jason Statham movies that we've seen, you know, over the past few years, like Beekeeper and all those type of movies. But overall, I really enjoyed Rebel Ridge. I gotta say, I don't know if I'd watch it again. What did I rate it? I rated it a 3.5. So 3.5 is pretty good. It's a pretty good rating, you know. But I don't know if I'd watch it again. Like, I did end up putting this on my favorites list, you know. Like Speak No Evil, I gave it a 3 out of 5. And I didn't hate that movie. I had fun with that movie. At first, I put it on my worst list of 2024. But I thought today, I was like, you know what? I had fun with that, so I put it on my favorites list, you know. I don't know if I'd watch that one again, but like Beetlejuice. I had fun with that movie. I gave that a 3.5, and I put that on my favorites list, you know. Same with, what else? Monkey Man and Bike Riders. I enjoyed both of those films. I gave those a 4 out of 5 at first, but then I dropped both of them down to a 3.5. I still had fun with those movies. I don't think they're like the greatest movies ever, the greatest movies of this year, you know, but same with Rebel Ridge. I had fun with Rebel Ridge and Speak No Evil and Beetlejuice, Monkey Man, Bike Riders. I had fun with all those, you know. And I had fun with this one. It's long, and again, the story does pivot a little bit, but if you're a sucker for these type of action movies, especially in particular, like these type of ones, like the First Blood, like the Rambo ones, yeah, you're going to enjoy this. So that's Rebel Ridge. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Go give it a watch if you haven't yet. Go watch it. I have a feeling that I'll really enjoy this. I will talk to you later. Do not forget to subscribe down here. Like, comment, and share. I don't know what movie I'm going to watch next, especially on streaming. Probably Never Let Go in theaters next week, the new Halle Berry zombie one. I'll have my review up for that. And until next time, my wonderful people, keep talking movies.